Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that so many of us can relate to, yet often struggle to put into words. How to move on from someone you're still in love with. Let's get real for a moment. Falling in love can be one of the most magical experiences in life. But falling out of love or trying to when the feelings are still there, that can feel downright impossible. And if you're watching this video right now, chances are you're somewhere in that painful in-between space, asking yourself how you're supposed to let go of someone who still holds your heart. It's not an easy journey, and it's not one size fits all, but I promise you, it's not hopeless. So let's start by acknowledging one crucial thing. It's okay to feel the way you feel. Often, we think we should just get over it or move on, as though flipping a switch will magically erase the memories, emotions, and connection we had with someone. But love doesn't work like that, does it? Love is messy and complicated. It weaves itself into every part of your being, your thoughts, your routines, your hopes for the future. When a relationship ends but the love remains, it feels like tearing apart pieces of yourself. The truth is, moving on from someone you love isn't about forgetting them or erasing the past. It's about creating a new narrative for your life that doesn't revolve around them. And that starts with facing your feelings, as uncomfortable as that might be. You might feel a mix of emotions: sadness, anger, confusion, or even guilt. All of that is valid. It's important to sit with those emotions and let yourself process them fully. Trying to suppress or ignore them only makes them louder. Now let's talk about closure. Closure is something we often crave when a relationship ends, especially if things were left unresolved. But here's the thing. Closure isn't always about getting answers or final words from the other person. Sometimes, closure is something you create for yourself. It's deciding to let go of the what-ifs and the could-have-beens. It's accepting that, as much as you might have loved them, some chapters in life are meant to end so others can begin. And I know that's easier said than done, but it's such a crucial step in reclaiming your emotional freedom. One of the hardest parts of moving on is breaking the habits and routines that tied you to that person. Maybe you used to text them first thing in the morning, or you always listened to a certain song together. Those little rituals become part of your everyday life. And when they're gone, you feel their absence so acutely. It's okay to mourn those moments, but it's also an opportunity to create new habits that are just for you. Start a morning ritual that's about self-care, whether it's journaling, meditating, or simply making your favorite cup of coffee and taking a moment to breathe. Let's not forget the power of your support system. Lean on your friends and family. Share your feelings with people you trust. You'd be amazed at how much healing can happen when you simply let yourself be heard. And if you feel like the weight of your emotions is too much to bear, don't hesitate to seek help from a therapist or counselor. There's no shame in needing a guide to help you navigate the complexities of your heart. Now, I want to touch on something that could be a little tricky: social media. In this age of constant connection, it's so tempting to check in on your ex's Instagram or Facebook to see what they're up to. But let's be real. Does it ever actually make you feel better? Most of the time, it only opens old wounds or creates new ones. It's okay to mute, unfollow, or even block if that's what you need to protect your peace. This isn't about being petty or dramatic. It's about creating boundaries that allow you to heal. Another thing to remember is that self-love isn't just a cliche, it's a practice. Moving on from someone you love means redirecting all that energy and care you poured into them back into yourself. What are the things that make you feel alive? What are the dreams you put on hold or the passions you haven't explored yet? Dive into those. Rediscover the parts of yourself that might have gotten lost in the relationship. You are so much more than your love for someone else. You are whole, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. And while we're on the topic of self-love, let's talk about forgiveness. Not for them, but for you. Forgive yourself for the moments when you think you held on too long or gave too much. Forgive yourself for not being over it as quickly as you think you should be. Healing isn't linear. Some days, you'll feel like you're making progress, and others, you might feel like you're back at square one. That's okay. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate the small victories, even if it's just getting through the day without crying or resisting the urge to reach out. One day, you'll wake up and the ache in your chest will be a little lighter. The memories that once brought tears to your eyes will bring a bittersweet smile instead. And eventually, you'll find yourself open to the idea of love again. Not because you've forgotten them, but because you've learned how to carry their memory in a way that doesn't weigh you down. So, if you're in the thick of it right now, wondering how you'll ever move forward, know this: you are stronger than you think. Your heart has an incredible capacity to heal, even if it takes time. Trust the process, trust yourself, and trust that brighter days are ahead.